Yesterday, Keir Starmer stood firm, declaring his full confidence in Peter Mandelson. Today, Mandelson is gone. In just 24 hours, a blistering storm erupted inside Westminster, fueled by explosive emails and damning accusations that sent shockwaves through Labour's top ranks. What was so shocking, so unforgivable, that it forced the Prime Minister into a humiliating U-turn? Why appoint Mandelson at all, knowing the shadows that trailed him? And what really broke in those final hours that left the Commons stunned and the studios erupting in disbelief? The fiery clash has only just begun. Watch the clip.
Of Lord Mandelson's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein is materially different from that known at the time of his appointment. In particular, Mr. Speaker, Lord Mandelson's suggestion that Jeffrey Epstein's first conviction was wrongful and should be challenged is new information. And in light of that, Mr. Speaker, and mindful, as we all are, of the victims of Epstein's appalling crimes, he has been withdrawn as ambassador with immediate effect.
Is that something really serious broke in the last 24 hours to change the Prime Minister's mind about Peter Mandelson. So let's examine what it was. When Starmer said on Wednesday that he had confidence in Mandelson, we already knew that Mandy had a business relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
This newspaper, the Daily Telegraph, buy it, revealed that Epstein had brokered a £1 billion deal with Lord Mandelson over the sale of a UK taxpayer-owned business after Epstein had been convicted of child sex offences.
And while Mandelson was in the cabinet.
Right. In addition, the US House Oversight Committee had published a collection of now infamous birthday wishes sent by different people to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003 that contained the immortal words penned by Peter Mandelson, "My best pal, yum, yum." So Starmer knew on Wednesday when he said he had full confidence in Mandelson that he had made some profound mistakes of judgment. What actually changed in those 24 hours to go from thinking Mandelson was on the ropes to getting rid of him? Well, on Wednesday night, a new slew of emails emerged written in the wake of Epstein's 2008 conviction for prostitution with a minor. So bear in mind, this is Mandelson communicating with Epstein after Epstein has been convicted of prostitution with a minor. Mandy wrote, quote, "I think the world of you, and I feel hopeless and furious about what has happened. I can still barely understand it. It just could not happen in Britain." That's a hard thing to read, by the way.
Yes.
He continues, "You have to be incredibly resilient, fight for early release, and be philosophical about it as much as you can." Mandelson offered Jeffrey Epstein advice on how to salvage his reputation. Some might infer from the messages that he was lobbying on behalf of Epstein. I want to add that Mandelson has proclaimed that he was misled by Epstein. He has expressed his profound sympathy for Epstein's victims and has regretted continuing his association with Epstein for too long. But here is my question. Do the documents that came to light on Wednesday night materially change anyone's impression of Mandelson and whether or not he should have been the US ambassador? Harriet Harman has said this on the Electoral Dysfunction podcast.
I think that Keir Starmer will be feeling better because he'll know he's actually done the right thing, and I think he'll be comfortable in himself with this decision. But I think that even Peter Mandelson's biggest detractors, and I've certainly counted myself amongst his detractors, would never imagine, and Keir Starmer could never have imagined, that he would have written an email to a man who was in prison offering him love and support when he was a person convicted of sex offences against young women. So I think that really this has gone beyond the bounds of what Keir Starmer could have reasonably expected, and he's acted decisively and sacked him. It's shameful that Peter Mandelson didn't resign in the national interest, in the interest of the government, but he's not that sort of person, so it was right that Keir Starmer sacked him.
So the mother of the house there, with all of her experience and wisdom, is hitting on the nub of the issue, and I think this is how the public sees it as well. As Rob Mendick, who broke this story for The Telegraph, told us on the podcast yesterday, these emails were all quite readily available. There is a whole cache of documents that has been in circulation, both online and in newsrooms, the length and breadth, not just of this country, but the world, about Epstein and his associations, notwithstanding the Epstein files that everyone wants Trump's administration to publish. So all of this stuff is knocking around. Any self-respecting journo in Fleet Street could tell you the following things: that Mandelson had a close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, that he maintained a close relationship with him after he was convicted, that Mandelson had a reputation for being the so-called Prince of Darkness, that he was a master of the black arts of politics, that he had already twice had to resign from government amid reports of various scandals, one to do with mortgages. I can't even remember the other one. When Mandelson was appointed by squeaky clean Keir Starmer, the man of decency, I don't know if you know, Tim, but he was a former director of public prosecutions.
Oh, I thought he was a toolmaker or something.
Apparently his father might have worked in toolmaking in some capacity. So this upstanding, I am fronting up a government of service, out with the Tory scum, back to basics. Let's get back to basics with good old-fashioned Labour decency.
Yes.
Alarm bells started ringing. Peter Mandelson
Yes.
was the question on everyone's lips.
Yes.
So
why was he appointed? What was revealed to the Prime Minister in his vetting, which the rest of the world didn't already know? And as I say, nothing that came out over Wednesday night, as fascinating and as incriminating it was, really added much more to what was already known when he described himself as having confidence in Peter Mandelson. So this is why it's no longer just a story about Peter Mandelson.
No.
It's a story about the man who appointed him and why.
The man who appointed him keeps on suggesting that everything he's doing is in the service of the country, when in fact it's just in the service of Keir Starmer. And we've seen this repeatedly. We have discussed this. We know he appointed Mandelson because he wanted to keep the Blairite New Labour wing happy. Perhaps also, as we've discussed, there was a sense, a little like Epstein, that Mandelson knew where some of the bodies were buried. There's also the returning of favours, because Mandelson increasingly popped up as Starmer was transitioning from leader of the opposition to prime minister. There was back-scratching.
I don't get it.
His integrity now is shot to pieces, agreed.
Yes.
The Prime Minister and his reputation for doing the right thing now looks ridiculous. His judgment is also shot to pieces because of the following sequence of events. The day before Angela Rayner resigns, I back Angela Rayner, even though she has admitted to tax avoidance.
At that point, we knew.
At that point, we knew. The Telegraph had reported all this stuff. The public had been able to discern from the very first moment. On the doorstep, no Labour MP could answer a constituent who said, but hang on a minute, hasn't the Deputy Prime Minister avoided tax? And justify it.
But for some reason, Keir Starmer needed to hear this from a civil servant in the same way that he needed to hear more emails from released via The Sun and Bloomberg, I should add.
The